Hello everyone, it's Matthew, aka That Damn M. This is the first of my podcasts that I'm going to attempt to do. And I'll be talking about PAX South. Yes, PAX South is in the can. 3 days of gaming, cosplay, and just overall fun has come to an end. It ended very quickly, a lot faster than I hoped it would. You know how they say time flies when you're having fun? Well, these past 3 days for PAX South flew by in an instant, and I'm actually kind of sad about it. I've heard that con blues is a thing, and the way I feel, I can kind of see that. But I don't want to sit here and depress you, so let's talk about the things that were awesome at the con and things that you might actually want to know and hear about. So let's first talk about cosplay. This year I did not see as much cosplay as previous years. I've gone to PAX South for the last 3 years, and this year there was some really good cosplay, and I'll get to that in a second. But just overall, the cosplay wasn't as plentiful. My girlfriend and I were talking about it, and we were thinking there would be a lot of Apex Legends cosplay, just because of the fact that the game came out almost a year ago, and this would have been the debut of cosplay for Apex Legends at PAX South. But I think we saw one Mirage, and one of our friends told us they saw a single Wraith, and that was it. It could be that the Apex Legends cosplay is a bit harder than some of the things like Gibby or Bloodhound or whatever, but my girlfriend definitely wanted to see a good Bloodhound, and we didn't get to, so she was a little disappointed, but it's okay. But the cosplay that was there was really good, actually. I saw quite a few rogues from X-Men. There was one that was really good. I believe her name is Cosmic Empress. I have her card somewhere around here. I'll have to try and find that. And there were a few other ones, but I'm wondering if that's because of the fact that the X-Men animated series is now on Disney Plus, and more people are able to see it, because all of the rogues were pretty much using the X-Men animated series design for their costumes. So we saw a really amazing Moira from Overwatch. I'm following the person on Twitter, but I'm not sure of their name, so I'll probably link that in the description. There was a really awesome Kenshin from Rurouni Kenshin. There was some really cool Halo cosplay, and I actually know the cosplayers for that. It was the Arbiter, Cortana, and a member of the Flood, and then a random Master Chief actually joined in with them. But that was really awesome. I'm trying to think what other just kind of general cosplays we saw. Oh, The Mandalorian and Untitled Goose Game, which was one of my favorites. There was a Kate from Gears of War, 4 and 5. And, I think... Oh, there was a Warlock from Destiny. So that was cool for you Destiny fans out there. And a lot of these pictures, if not all of them, can be found on my Instagram and Twitter accounts, which will also be linked in the description. So if you're not following me there, go ahead and do that as well, so you can see what exactly I'm referring to here. But yeah, I have actually made the decision as of today that for PAX South next year, I'm going to attempt a cosplay. I am not sure what the cosplay will be at this time. I just decided that I want to do it. And yeah, so I don't think I will be giving out any hints once I even find out what it is I want to do. I am of the type that is more likely to just surprise people, just show up as a character and then be like, bam, this is me, you know? But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. PAX South was a lot of fun this year, so aside from the cosplay, it was kind of an indie showcase, indie spectacular. PAX South was a lot smaller this year than it has been in the previous years. There was a large portion of the convention center that was actually closed off, and a lot of the booths slash exhibitors spaces were smaller as well. I'm actually not sure why that was, because there was so much, room to walk around that I didn't feel like the booths had to be right next to each other, because a lot of the times you would get stuck kind of in a walkway because people were hanging out and were trying to check out games and win raffles and that sort of thing. And so you had to take alternate routes to get to where you wanted to go. But as far as the games themselves, I got to play a few of them. The one I'm most probably excited for is Streets of Rage 4. My friend Andrew and I had a chance to stand up and play that for about 20-ish minutes. You basically had 2 lives and you played until you died. If there wasn't a line, I would have tried to actually play it again, but we already had people lining up behind us. Even though we played it on Sunday, almost as the show floor was closing. But yeah, Streets of Rage 4 is really cool. It looks great. It plays just like the old games. So if you were like me and you were wary of whether or not a remake would be good, then don't worry, because it definitely feels like a worthy successor to the original classic games. I also got a chance to play this game called Speaking Simulator, where you are an AI robot and you have to try and convince people that you are human. And the way you do that is you control the mouth of your AI robot. The right stick moves the mouth, like opens and closes the mouth and stretches the lips to the left and to the right. And you also have to move a bar indicating whether you are happy or serious to match. It's almost like DDR in the sense that you have like up, down, left, right, and you move the other bar for your emotions. And then on the left stick, you actually control your tongue inside of the mouth, and you have to move the tongue to hit these lights, these green lights that pop in. And if you aren't getting the timing right, or you miss and you hit the wrong lights, then your face starts to kind of come apart. When I was playing, my nose came open and like motor oil was dripping out. But for some reason, the girl that I was on the date with still didn't realize I was an android. Like, she was suspicious, but I didn't do as bad or as badly enough to make her know 100% certain that I am an android. So when I finished the mission, I actually got 100% actual human as my rating, and the developer gave me a sticker. But I could see that game being really fun if you like the simulator type games. Surgeon Simulator, Goat Simulator, that sort of thing. Surgeon Simulator is probably the closest comparison to make. Goat Simulator and I Am Bread and that sort of thing are fun, but this is more of independent control, so it's more Surgeon Simulator than the other two. I'm trying to think, what else did I get a chance to play? We played, I think it was called Hellpoint. I don't have the cards with me, unfortunately, but it was at the Tiny Build booth, and it was pretty cool. It's kind of a Souls type game. It actually reminded me a lot of this game that most of you might not have ever heard of, called Immortal Unchained. On the That Damn Brand YouTube page, there's a video where I played through the alpha of that, but Hellpoint reminded me of that. We basically played it and died pretty fast because you take fall damage, and then also we're playing local co-op, by the way, and so when you're trying to revive a downed partner, you sacrifice some of your health. So I was getting revived, and then we died because my partner lost half of their health, and they already had less than half health. And the guy working the booth was like, "Oh yeah, this game is like that. It will let you kill yourself." So it did, and we were like, "Well then," and we stopped playing. Yeah, that was pretty cool. We didn't play some of I think the largest company that was there was probably Rebellion. The largest gaming company, Mixer, was there and had a huge booth. But in terms of gaming company, It had to have been Rebellion. They were showing off Nazi Zombie Army 4 VR, and that line was kind of always wrapped. At the Tiny Build booth, they had Secret Neighbor, which also was had a pretty huge line as well. And they gave out these really cool neighbor masks. I might throw that up on my stream. So if you want to see that, then follow me on Twitch. That'll be linked in the description as well. And then also, PAX is also known for tabletop, board games and card games and that sort of thing. And so some friends and I, one of my buddies actually ended up getting Unstable Unicorns. And so on Sunday, we sat around and we played Unstable Unicorns, the base game, and like 4 or 5 of the expansions. It might have been all the expansions, I'm not sure, but he bought a lot. And we sat around and we played it. And I am the first victor of that friend group. So I pulled a really awesome move because, I've played games like that in the past. It's kind of like I want to say it's like a beginner's or like a simplified version of Magic the Gathering. It's not quite as in-depth, but there are some really cool strategies and moves that you can make with the cards. And so I won the first game that we played. We were in the midst of our second game when one of the enforcer people came and tried to kick us out because she said that the expo hall was closing it closed at 6, when in fact it was supposed to close at 7. But we took her at her word and got up and put the cards up. And then whenever we actually found out that it did close at 7, we were like, it, we already just took off. And so we're like, whatever. And then we ended up heading to one of my other friend's house and we played another game. This time the game lasted like 2 hours. And I did awful that game. I think at the end of the game I didn't have a single unicorn on the field. But I was an agent of chaos. I made sure nobody... Well, I didn't make sure nobody won, because obviously somebody won, but I made sure that it was very difficult for people to win. And, yeah. So that was the games. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, the parties. The parties at PAX South were really cool. The second one was. So the first one we went to was the Gearbox Party at Howl at the Moon here in San Antonio. And it's not to say that party was bad. It just was kind of a small venue for the amount of people that were there. And then one thing that we found out later was kind of messed up was we had a token for a free drink. I think it set up to an $8 value or something like that. But nobody told us that we could have ordered some Gearbox specific drinks. They had some kind of like Duke Nukem drink and some kind of Borderlands themed drink, and nope, we didn't find that out until we talked to one of my buddies there named Clowntown, who was telling us about how on the back of these coasters that they were handing out, they had those custom drinks you could have ordered. And so I got a beer and my girlfriend got just like a vodka and raspberry or something, and so we got our free drinks and realized it was going to be really crowded and stuff, so we were like, screw it, let's go to the other party. And apparently after, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes after we left, they started throwing out merch. But it was, shirts and hats and stuff. And they were literally just throwing it out into the crowd. So the likelihood of us getting it wouldn't have been very high either. And if we did, it might have had alcohol on it. So, I don't regret taking off when we did. We still got to go in, get a free drink. Got our Gearbox VIP badges. We took some pictures in front of like the Borderlands backdrop and the other video game backdrops that they publish and that sort of thing. And so then we went to the Stream Texas meetup, and the Stream Texas meetup was amazing. I knew it would be because it was good last year. We didn't have a chance to stay for the entire time last year, but this time we stayed until closing. But it was great. I got a chance to say hello to a lot of my friends that I hadn't seen in a while, but I also took the opportunity to network. I met a lot of new people, and I handed out so many business cards. A lot of the people were really cool. The sponsor for the Stream Texas was World of Warships, and funnily enough, I actually ran into the community manager for World of Warships there. Like, she was walking around, and I just, as she's passing by, she had cool like sleeve tattoos, and so I just kind of casually stopped her and was like, "Hey, I really like your tattoos." And she said thanks, and then we just kind of started chit chatting, and I gave her my card, and yeah, as it turns out, she gave me her card too, and as it turns out, she was community manager for World of Warships, so it was kind of cool, and we just talked about streaming and whatnot. So I don't know if there's anything that's going to come out of that. It'd be cool to get maybe like a partnership or sponsorship or something, but I'm not going to, push it too hard. It was just cool meeting somebody who was a part of the event in that way. But overall, yeah, the Stream Texas party was super cool. I found a lot of new streamers to follow, and I got a bunch of follows from it too. And that's just kind of how this is now. Like, the key to growth is networking and meeting people, and opportunities don't come to you if you don't go out and get them. Basically, you have to look for them. You have to try and put yourself out there, put your name out there. And so yeah, who knows. I also recently signed up on Twitter for a sponsorship with Madrina's Coffee. I just saw it on Twitter. I hadn't really had a chance to look through too much, but it looks really awesome. Apparently they're handing out free cold brew coffee at PAX, and now they're partnering with streamers, and it said that you could be big or small. So I went ahead and filled out that application, and hopefully they'll see something in me and maybe give me a sponsorship or whatever. So yeah, that's gonna do it probably for this episode, guys. I probably talked a lot more than I thought I would, and so yeah, we'll probably go ahead and call this a good stopping point, and I'll be back soon. So thanks for listening, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, evening, night, whenever it is where you are, and I'll see you next time. Later.